Okay, we had the words definites and indefinites. Definites and indefinites. Definites. It definitely doesn't work. So that was how I taught it, and I taught it like that because I think a lot of students tend to remember that. So try to remember definites definitely doesn't work. So this one doesn't work, which means indefinites, so the opposite obviously would mean it does work. Does work. What are we talking about in terms of doesn't work and does work? We're obviously talking about your quadratics. So if I've got a quadratic, x squared plus x plus 1 equals to 0, let's say, the idea is I can straight away just look at that, use one particular formula, which was called the discriminant. And if it was less than 0, then I know it doesn't work. If it was greater than or equal to 0, it does work. But to be a bit more specific, if it's equal to 0, I know it has one solution. And if it was greater than 0, it has two solutions. Rings a bell? So with this question here, x squared plus x plus 1, what's a discriminant? Well, b squared minus 4 times a times c. I get -3. So this one here will definitely not work because it's less than 0. So can you ever solve x squared plus x plus 1? No. Does that make sense? So positive definites and then negative definites. That's one other thing you need to know. So we've got a thing called positive definites, which just means that your parabola is happy. Then you've got negative definites, which means your parabola is sad. How do you know if it's going to be happy or sad? A, correct. A, which is the number in front. If A is greater than 0, it's happy. If A is less than 0, it's sad. So the question that you guys might see in your exams as you practice is going to look something like this. Find K. Find K given, I don't know, x squared plus K plus 1x plus 3, no, equals 0, has a positive definite. Or is a positive definite, not has a positive definite, is a positive definite. Okay, well, is it positive? Of course, because x squared in front of it, a is already great, so that's actually not even important to you. It's more the definite. And what do we now know about definite? Which means the discriminant must be. So what does the discriminant equal to? The discriminant is equal to b squared minus 4 times a times c less than 0. Hey, at least we're also going to review inequalities now. So now, what do? I told you guys to now not use inequalities. We will make it to an equal sign. Hey, you guys remember? So k plus 1 squared minus 12 equals 0. Then go and solve. Up to you. You want it to expand, quadratic formula, whatever. Fastest way for what I've done right now is what? What's the fastest way given that particular function? You could have done anything you wanted, just so we get that clear, because all of you are now 1 year older, 1 year more mature than last year. So whatever your math you would have done at this stage, do it. But what's the most efficient way to finishing off that? Specifically. Yeah, you would have moved the 12 over. So you wouldn't have expanded. Only because it's already factorized. So you might as well have done this. K plus 1 equals, move the 12 over and square root it at the same time. And then K equals -1 plus minus root 12. That's the most efficient way. You didn't have to, you could have used your quadratic formula. Obviously, we are not finished because we're trying to do the inequality. So what do we do after we found equals? Number line. Sandra, I'm really liking it. Really liking how quick you are with it all. Then I need to sub in because I don't know what number k is, right? So I'm going to sub that into my calculator. I get about 2.4 and negative 4.4, 4.5. So now I know negative 4.5 is here, 2.4 is here. So the positive case, negative case. Then what do? Test. What number? 0. Let's do test k equals 0. Where do we sub in that one though? Yeah, you've got to go back to here. Right all the way back. Sorry? No, because you don't have anything there. You don't have an inequality sign there. You go back to the original as in with the one with the inequality. So subbing k equals 0, 1, 1 minus 12 is negative 11. Is negative 11 less than 0? So does that mean this 0 works? They're both open circles because they're not equal to and they meet. So what's the answer I'm looking for? Answer. Here we go. Negative 1 minus root 12 less than k less than negative 1 plus root 12. That would be worth 2 marks, maybe 3 marks because I made it into a root 12 like that. The recording, your turn to talk to me.